Troubleshooting automations. So when things break, and they will, so here is something nobody tells you when you first start automating with Claude. Things will break. And not because the tool is flawed, not because you did something wrong, but because automations depend on a chain of conditions all lining up at the right time. And sooner or later, one link in that chain slips. The good news, almost every problem you will run into has a simple fix, and by the end of this session, you'll know exactly where to look. So welcome back. In this session, we are covering the 6 most common issues you will hit with scheduled tasks, connectors, and dispatch, and how to fix each one quickly. More importantly, I want to give you a troubleshooting mindset, a repeatable process you can use whenever something goes sideways. Because once you have that, you stop feeling stuck and start feeling like someone who just solves problems fast. Let's get into it. Problem 1. Your scheduled tasks didn't run. Now, this is the number one issue people hit, and it has the simplest explanation. Scheduled tasks only run when 2 conditions are met. Your computer is awake and Claude Desktop is open. Now, if your laptop went to sleep at 2 a.m. and your task was scheduled for 3 a.m., it simply didn't execute. There is no cloud server running it in the background. The fix will keep your computer awake and keep Claude Desktop open during the window when your tasks are scheduled. On Mac, you can adjust your sleep settings and system preferences. On Windows, check your power and sleep settings. Now, let me show you how to verify whether a task actually ran. Open Claude Desktop, go to the schedule task page and look at past runs. This log tells you exactly when each task last executed and if it was skipped. You'll see the gap right here. This is always your first stop when something seems off. Let me show this to you. I go to schedule tasks and I don't think I have anything here. Let me check over here. Okay, let's have a look at this one. This is on the right, if you see, daily enrichment today, yesterday, April 15, 14. So there was a gap of 16th and 17th April probably. Now this is exactly where you see if the task actually ran or didn't run. Problem number 2 is connector authentication expired. Well, you set up a connector to Google Drive or Notion. It worked great for 2 weeks and now Claude says it can't access the integration. What happened? OAuth tokens expire. And this is standard behavior across almost every connected service, not a Claude specific issue. The fix, go to settings, then connectors, find the integration that stopped working, disconnect it, and then reconnect it. You'll go through the authentication flow again, and you are back in business. That's how as easy as it looks or it sounds to be. So problem number 3 is dispatch is not connecting. Now you are trying to send a task from your phone using dispatch, but nothing is happening on the desktop side. 2 things to check immediately. Both devices need to be signed in from the same Claude account, and the desktop app needs to be running on an awake computer. If the desktop is asleep or the app is closed, dispatch has nowhere to send the task. The fix, verify both the devices are the same account, like we already discussed. Also check your internet connection on both the devices. Dispatch needs connectivity on both ends. The 4th problem, task produces wrong or unexpected output. So your task ran, but the result isn't what you wanted. Maybe the summary is too short, or it pulled the wrong data, or it missed the point entirely. 9 times out of 10, this is a prompt problem and not a tool problem. The fix, edit your scheduled task prompt to be more specific, add context, tell Claude exactly what format you want, what to include and what to ignore. If your task reads files, make sure you have granted folder access so Claude has the context it needs, and remember the iteration approach we covered back in section 2. Treat your prompt like a draft, review the output, and refine and repeat. Problem number 5 is connector permissions are insufficient. So Claude is connected to your tool, but it can't access certain files or perform certain actions. This usually means one of two things. Either your permissions in the source system are limited, or your organization's team or enterprise admin has restricted what connectors can do. Fix. First, check your own permission in the source system. Can you access that file or folder directly? If not, that's the issue. If you can, then check with your admin about organization level connector restrictions. Some organizations limit what Claude is allowed to read or write for security reasons. Sixth problem, task ran but files don't appear. Now your tasks executed successfully according to the logs, but you can't find the output files anywhere. Now this always means you didn't grant folder access for that specific scheduled task. Fix. Open the scheduled task and make sure a folder designation is set. Without it, Claude does not have a location to save files to. Assign the correct folder, run the task again, and your files should appear right where you expect them. So here is your troubleshooting framework, and memorize this. First, check the basics. Is the app open? Is the computer awake? Is there an internet connection? This solves the majority of issues. Second, check permissions. Are connectors authenticated? Does the source system allow access? Are there admin restrictions? Third, check the prompt. Is it specific enough? Does it have the context it needs? Does the task have folder access? Now work through these three steps in that order, and you will resolve almost anything you encounter without needing outside help. And that's all for this session. Key takeaways: 6 problems, 6 fixes like we discussed. Scheduled tasks require computers to be awake and Cloud Desktop to be open. Connected tokens do expire. Dispatch requires both devices on the same account. Unexpected output is always a prompt problem. Permission issues can come from the source system. Missing files usually mean the scheduled task needs a folder designation, and the troubleshooting order should be basics first, then permissions, and then the prompt. These are some resources that you might find relevant, and you now have the full automation toolkit: scheduled tasks for recurring work, dispatch for on-the-go delegation, connectors for plugging into your tools, 5 real workflows to copy, and a troubleshooting framework for when things go sideways. Now that's section 4 complete. In the next section, we are moving to Claude in Chrome, where Claude becomes your browser agent. See you there. This was the end of section 4.